This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Since I started this channel last year, I've been talking about the seeds that are being planted for a potential Donald Trump assassination. I'm talking about it because there's a lot of things the mainstream media continues to do to hint at an assassination of the President of the United States of America. This is not something that always happens. When Obama was in office, of course, there was talk of something happening because he was the first black president, but the mainstream media wasn't hinting at it. Musicians weren't putting assassination attempts in their music videos or showing the president decapitated in their music videos. Since Trump started running for office, we have seen people bum rush the stage. We have seen all types of seeds planted for an underlying theme, which is this anti-Trump society that they are trying to create, which in fact is part of the divide and conquer agenda. Now we see another musician, this time Snoop Dogg, who had a clue that this guy was still around. Apparently this guy's still making music. I don't know if he's still relevant anymore, but apparently he is, because he has a new song out where he shows at a potential Donald Trump assassination. We saw this recently with Marilyn Manson, with the decapitation of Trump in his video. We saw Madonna even talk about blowing up the White House at the protests after he was inaugurated. These are all things that are not common, that you don't see all the time. And this is the left-right paradigm at its finest, because these musicians and these actors represent the quote-unquote left, and then you have people who support Donald Trump who believe they represent the right and the alt-right. So they continue to put this and plant these seeds and put these images in these music videos, in these television shows, in these cartoons, as well as all over the internet. Now, Snoop Dogg was quoted as saying, "Nobody's dealing with the real issue with this effing clown as a president in regards to him shooting him." Now, the characters in the video are all painted up as clowns. Trump painted up as, it looks like an Oompa Loompa from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We see other people dressed up in clown paint. They call him Ronald Clump, and the White House is called the Clown House. Now, the reason I'm reporting on this is because this is subliminal programming. This is how they get these seeds planted in people's minds for something to potentially happen. You have to look at things from that perspective, not from the perspective of, oh, I'm a fan of Donald Trump, or not a fan of Donald Trump, and look at it as either funny or something that gets you angry. Look at it from the mindset of, what type of mind control are they trying to operate here? Why are they doing it over and over? Because this isn't a one-time thing. Marilyn Manson, like I just said, released a video with him being decapitated. Okay, we've heard Madonna say blow up the White House. We heard other celebrities, Rosie O'Donnell talking about how we need to get him out of office and even bring in martial law. This is all done deliberately. This is them doing their job. These musicians, these actors, when they get asked to play a role and to do this stuff, they have to do it. When they say, listen, in the media, you're going to mock Trump, or do this, push the racial agenda, push the gay agenda, and they go along with it. So that's why you're constantly seeing it. The question is, what is this subliminal mind control programming for? Is something potentially going to happen? I don't know. None of us know that, what they have planned. Could it just be them using it as a sense of a psyop to take attention off of it? Are they doing it just to rile up the right for this civil unrest that they want, which they're creating through the left and right paradigm? That's what they're doing right now, right? The people who are angriest most at one another are pro-Trump or anti-Trump people who are buying into this left and right. Now, what else is interesting to note, even though this is one of the worst music videos and songs you'll ever hear in your life, is that they're also pushing the police brutality gimmick. So they have a young black boy filming a cop who pulls over another person, they're both dressed in clown paint, and shoots him for no specific reason. And this is part of what agenda? We've been talking about this with the police, right? To get this to a military state. The police have continued throughout the last few years to be looked at as incompetent. The police can't do their job. The police are targeting black people. People are fighting against the police. We need the police gone. This is all part of how they operate and use mind control over people. Now, another thing that's a bit interesting about the video is that they have everybody dressed up as clowns. We've just talked about this clown psyop that they pushed, worldwide. It started in America, it spread around the world. This massive distraction. It's almost as if they're hinting in this video at this, all of this stuff being a circus and a distraction from what's really going on. You have the young boy who films the cop shooting and puts it on quote-unquote clown tube, and it's supposed to be YouTube. It says clown cop kills clown. You see all this subliminal seeds here? This is how it all works. It isn't a coincidence that these Donald Trump false assassination things are popping up all over the place. And I say false assassination because I believe if something did happen, it would be a false flag event, that he would be fine, because I do believe that these people all are working together and operating together. But for whatever reason, they want to keep hinting at this. They don't want this to die down. And that's why even Snoop Dogg, when he's not popular anymore, and there's no way he's a mainstream guy anymore. Obviously, everybody's familiar with who he is, but nobody can even name a song he's probably ever done since something from the 90s. But there's a reason that it's getting covered. That TMZ, that all these other outlets out there, these mainstream outlets, are covering this music video and how he assassinates Trump in the video. Because this is part of the agenda. Not because it's going, oh, it's controversial. Because they want this out there. They did the same thing with Marilyn Manson. Nobody had seen Marilyn Manson in centuries. Marilyn Manson pops back up, rolls out of his coffin, and he's got Donald Trump's head getting cut off. And people go, well, he's just doing it for attention. Because these guys just want attention. They're trying to get publicity. This is the common theme that the sheep fall into believing when stuff like this happens. I get it on every video. Don't you see? They're just trying to get your attention. That's why they do the Illuminati symbols. Yeah, that's why they do it. So small YouTubers like myself can talk about it because we get so many millions of views and so many people care. It's not why they're doing it. This is how mind control works. This is planting seeds. And Snoop Dogg getting pushed through the mainstream with this false Trump shooting is just more seed planting. And you also get Snoop making comments that nobody's dealing with the real problem, which is this president. So his song is about, sending a message that he needs to be dealt with. Okay, so he needs to be dealt with. And then he has him chaining him up and shooting him. It's amazing how this mind control has gotten to this point, especially with this Trump presidential thing. How he's been, he's only been president for 2 months? And all we're hearing about is, the worst things in the world happen. Nothing is going on. Nothing. But we have all these people from the left who are saying we need to get rid of them. And this is exactly what they want. And they want people. That's why I constantly caution people about falling into believing in the left versus the right. I get that people want to have hope. I get that God can use people. I fully am on board with that. But I'm just forewarning people that this is how they bring people into silence. This is why a lot of the alt-right media has become so much bigger over the last 6 months to a year. Because they're pushing the alt-right media. They're pushing InfoWars. They're pushing these guys like David Seaman who are coming into this, pushing the Donald Trump narrative. And they have something planned. And like I said, whether it's to rile people up to be divided between the left and the right, or if they actually are planting the seeds for this false assassination, one way or the other, there's seeds planted. And they don't plant seeds for no reason. They don't go to this effort. Every second that they use to push things in the mainstream media is valuable to them, because every single second that passes in a day, they can use to their advantage for mind control. They don't just throw stories out there to throw them out there. Otherwise, the news at 11 o'clock at night would talk about things going on in your local town. Oh, there's a water shortage, or this company might be going out of business. No, the narrative is always their narrative, even on the local small channels, the local affiliates in small states. They'll still be talking about the national narrative. There's a reason for that. There's a reason that the stories are controlled, because every second is valuable and precious to them. So they don't throw this stuff in music videos for absolutely no reason. They don't throw this stuff in cartoons. The majority of you know this stuff better than me, because I don't follow any of these cartoon shows. I don't really follow much. I try to keep up with everything to inform people, but everybody's pretty much aware of Family Guy and The Simpsons and the large amounts of predictive programming that's dumped into those shows. Do you think that's by coincidence? Of course it's not. Because none of this is done by coincidence. None of this is written in to be funny. Because Snoop's not even being original with this concept, right? Someone might go, well, it's being original. Well, they already had Twitter trending with a Trump assassination after his inauguration and after he was elected. And people were, tweeting it all over Twitter, and the mainstream media was picking up on it and not even saying that these were like life threats. I mean, you have people tweeting that he needs to be killed. This is sick stuff. And then you have these other things popping up with him being assassinated. People are talking about it, they're hinting at it, and that's the narrative out there. And that's why I just wanted to cover this so people are aware. This stuff is constantly popping up in the mainstream media. Now, I don't know for sure what their plan is. All I can do is speculate like everyone else. But I see these things over and over, and I'm trying to point them out so that people are aware that this is how they use mind control. Repetitively doing this, repetitively planting seeds. If you're not critically thinking about why they're doing this or why they're putting that there, then they're planting the seed in your brain, and they're conditioning you for whatever they have planned. If you saw the Marilyn Manson video, and you saw the Snoop Dogg, and you heard all the celebrities come out and say how Trump is dangerous, we need to overthrow the White House and all this stuff, and you just plant it in your head, that's all being stored in an alpha state. Okay? It's all being stored in your subliminal state of mind. It's there for a reason. They want it placed there for when they create the event. Then you're already conditioned, and you're already desensitized for the most part from it happening. Your brain is already aware that something's coming, but your conscious brain is not. So this is just more of this stuff. And again, it's only speculation what they have planned. It could just obviously be to push the left versus right narrative. To get, Trump supporters very angry with Hollywood, which is obviously part of what they want, massive civil unrest. But it's just interesting to me that this is popping up constantly, and not a lot of people are pointing this out. But we're seeing it over and over and over. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.